How's it going, Starseekers? My name's Gotcake and welcome to another mini review, where today we're going to be taking a quick look at Real Drift Racing, a racing simulator where you have to drift your way around various tracks, earning points and credits to unlock new tracks, purchase additional vehicles or soup up your existing ones. So I'm always dubious when a game sticks the word real in its title. RMX Real Motocross, for example, was an absolute abortion of a game, and if you haven't yet watched my review of it, you can find a link in the description box below. So Real Drift Racing is published by Cool Small Games, which initially set off the alarm bells ringing as the previously published two near identical Endless Runner titles. But hitting the main menu, things don't actually look too bad. We see a red car whose model I'm not even going to guess at, and the visuals seem pretty decent, with our car having a sort of cel shaded look to it with its black outline. Heading first into the tutorial, we're taught the controls, and we're first required to drive and park at the indicated spot. However, I overshoot first time and have to start it again. Upon reaching the spot, nothing happens due to the game being picky as hell and me not being straight enough. Now, you don't really have a proper brake button in the game per se. If you press and hold the brake button for too long, it switches you into reverse, and then you have to hit accelerate to switch back to forward gears and start accelerating. And the whole process just sort of feels clunky, and you'll be doing a hell of a lot every time you crash in game. So after completing a couple of stops, we get our first taste of drifting, where we gather some speed and tap the handbrake button to kick our back end out, and then try and maintain the drift with our thumbstick. After we complete our second drift, we complete the tutorial, and so I next decided to dive into the game's career mode. This is made up of 7 different championships, each containing a number of different tracks, and we begin in the Rookie Championship with our first race on a simple oval track in the Docklands, UK. Next, we get to select our car from 3 available cars, and we're able to buy additional cars using currency earned in game. We're also able to do some basic customization of each car's appearance, changing the colour of its body, windshield, wheels and wheel smoke. So into the first track I went with my Thunder Z Max. In order to earn 3 stars I had to earn 70 points, which you would have thought wouldn't be much of an issue, but the torque in this Thundershite car was ridiculous, and I was constantly sliding all over the show like I was driving on ice. The only way I managed to retain any control whatsoever was by just tapping my accelerator, and I managed to earn 70 points, and then it was on to the next track. Now, before starting, I switched to the GTS Spider, which is a heavier car, but yet again I had troubles in this car, which was the opposite of the previous car, and I struggled to actually get any drift at all. I failed my first attempt and gave it another go, this time trying to get up more speed, but my arse end kept sliding out, which results in your points not being banked if you do a 180 turn or bump into a wall. And so again I failed and decided to switch back to the trusty tutorial car, the Snake GT3. After a few more attempts I finally managed to scrape enough points together to get 1 star, and it was on to the Intermediate Cup. Here the tracks became more complex with multiple turns, and I decided to spend some of my hard earned cash to upgrade my Snake GT3. Now, upgrades in the game cover all types of things like axle suspension, front and rear camber angles and steering angles, but not being a car person, none of these actually made any sense to me whatsoever. So I decided to keep things simple and improve my engine, intake and turbo, all of which up my car's max power. I then decided to give the next track a go, but due to the additional torque that my upgrades had provided, once more I was driving like I was on ice. However, I did manage to earn enough points to gain 2 stars and unlock the second intermediate track. And here is where I stopped playing, as the track was much tighter and I couldn't actually maintain control of any car that I owned. They either didn't want to turn or wanted to turn too much, and I spent half an hour smashing into walls before calling it quits. I then took a quick look at the game's quick race mode, which allows you to select any map and play them in both drift or sandbox mode, and I selected a UK airport map where I once again spent 5 minutes sliding around the track, whose visuals had an orange hue which looked like the result of a nuclear fallout. Finally, I took a look at the game's split screen versus mode, which allows 2 players to face off against each other. Now, I didn't have anyone to play with, so I just smashed into my absent opponent's car, but I can see this game being the most fun of them all if you can find someone to play with locally, as the game doesn't feature any online multiplayer. So in all, I have to say my time playing Real Drift Racing was a rather short-lived disappointment. The game has potential to be a decent score chaser, but car controls are pretty terrible and I found maintaining a drift for any amount of time near impossible, and additional car unlocks and upgrades seemed kind of pointless when the singular gameplay dynamic just revolves around you drifting. So now it's time to rate Real Drift Racing. Now I rate games between 1 and 5 stars with a shovelware stamp of approval awarded to the worst eShop titles, and for a rating I'd give Real Drift Racing 1 out of 5 stars. While its visuals aren't terrible, the one gameplay mechanic the game focuses on isn't implemented very well, and I was bored with the game after about 20 minutes, though there may be someone out there who will enjoy it. You can get Real Drift Racing from the UK Switch eShop, usually priced at £4.49, or from the US eShop for $4.99. And that's it for this Star or Shovelware mini review of Real Drift Racing. Hit that like button if it helped you out, and let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for future Switch indie game reviews and content, and jump onto the Star Seekers Discord server to join its growing community. For now though, I just want to thank you all once again for watching, and until next time, game on.